Alright everyone, in case you didn't notice, Twitter's having problems, namely it's hemorrhaging users, and so they've decided that there's an easy solution to the fact that they're losing their user base over time, as people realize that Twitter intends to censor all interesting commentary out of existence and crack down on people and do the moral haranguing sort of stupid thing and ban everyone that you like. As people realize that, they're saying, well, why do I use it? You know, why don't I get on Gab? Because it's more interesting. I see edgy shit there and stuff that I can't see on Twitter. They've got an easy solution, though. They're just not going to tell you how many active users they have anymore. That's right. They have decided to stop reporting on the number of active users on Twitter, because they don't want you to get nervous if you're invested in Twitter, seeing the slow decline of the platform. That's really what it's about. How many months in a row or how many quarters in a row can they use the same stupid excuse that it's a bot purge? Okay, so you are still losing more accounts than are being created. In no way is it possible that that's just bot removal. Over time, look at the number that you've removed. Okay, I think you burned through the bots now. This number should be positive anyway if there are any real users coming aboard. Because if an account is made and then deleted, it's a net zero. It's not a net loss. If a bot gets onto your platform and then you delete that account, it's not that it's going to show -1 as the value on the number of active users. It's going to show 0 for that slot. So you're still losing legitimate users on Twitter. And at first they used the excuse, well, we had a lot of catching up to do. My God, the site was crawling with bots. So you were shitty for years. Now you're okay, I suppose. It's still falling. Well, that's a lot more bots that you have to get rid of. How many are there? How many active users are on Twitter? They don't want to tell you the real number because it's a lot smaller than what they told their investors. That's why they don't want to tell their investors. Or you. They don't want you to think that Twitter's lame. The way that a brand like this dies is by being seen as no longer exciting and dynamic and fun, entertaining, infotaining in many cases, or just strictly informational. If it's no longer seen as cool, if your demographics get older and older on the site because younger people aren't joining the site because they're using something else, there you got a problem now, don't you? Facebook has this problem. A bunch of people, they get on Instagram, which like Zuckerberg doesn't care because he owns both. But Instagram fundamentally taking over in large part for Facebook and other sites as well. All tech has been rising up. It is beginning to chip away at the understructures of old guard Silicon Valley. Absolutely. If it wasn't, then they wouldn't be trying to weaponize a bunch of banks and payment processors to kick them off the internet now, would they? As an excuse, using users that they banned off their own platforms, as though that's ever happened before in communications technology, or is remotely legitimate or should be happening, as though Congress shouldn't be calling it a vertical monopoly and banning the practice. Now, Twitter is collapsing. I noticed that, around the time their stock fell 12% or some crazy amount in a single day and didn't really recover and now is sliding further. Yeah, Twitter stock, if I had Twitter stock, I'd be selling it. Yeah, I'd be cutting my losses and saying, well, I guess it's fucking worthless. Why the hell would I want to be invested in a company that thinks that this is the answer to their woes? Why doesn't Twitter reverse course on some of its shitty policies? Focus on removing bots all you want. You should restore all of those edgy users that you kicked off saying, think of the children. But make Twitter the maverick of old guard Silicon Valley and it would do pretty well. Right now the maverick is YouTube. This is why YouTube is still of all of the existing larger old guard Silicon Valley sites, my money's on YouTube to be the one that actually lasts and survives, if not perpetually, at least the longest. Here's why. YouTube, for all of the faults of censorship on the site, limited state and stuff like that I totally disagree with, is considerably less censored and considerably more forthcoming about its TOS, number one, and number two, far more communicative, at least with larger users that get banned or they have a strike or something. Like, I can communicate with Team YouTube. Twice now I've appealed strikes. They were both reversed because it's an algorithmic problem. On Twitter, if an algorithm gets you banned, Twitter's going to laugh at you, rub it in your face, and say you can't have another account ever again. Don't even bother fucking contacting us. You have problems with the verification system. I mean, not that it matters. Getting your blue check mark, it used to be, okay, this person is relevant and says who they are, and that's actually their identity. To be a verified user, they verified that it's actually you and there's some reason that you would need to make that known. Now it means that Twitter is tacitly endorsing you. They've kicked Sargon off their platform 3 times despite the fact that the initial ban was totally bullshit. They've kicked 1 million people. I think they kicked Alsop off their site. Didn't the Red Elephants just get kicked off, I think? Or was it YouTube that banned them? I think it was Twitter. the red elephants, and all of these others, and it's like it's the most censored. They've gone into the running against Zuckerberg and Facebook to see who can fucking die the fastest. And my money's on Twitter to collapse first, and I've said that consistently. They just don't have they don't have the larger user base, the economic chops that Facebook has. And Facebook's dying too, like they're hemorrhaging users also. Mainly because people don't want to give Zuckerberg a bunch of shit to sell to China. Then they make a big mistake when they go onto Instagram and they think anything different's happening. He's setting up for the next generation. He wants Gen Z to be like the millennials, and he wants another 10, 15 years of making huge amounts of money. He's won. You've given Zuckerberg an easy victory. It's just, sort of a funny thing that Facebook will probably stop existing as anything but a messaging app at some point. Basically be a way for bored 40-somethings to screw each other. Sorry about that. Send each other stupid pictures and shit. My God, I can't even imagine how dumb Twitter really is. Jack Dorsey, we're not going to tell you how many active users we have. It's very, very important for us not to do that because we don't want people to notice that we're sliding off a cliff. Somehow, though, the fact that we're announcing that'll be good for investment. People will want our stock without any knowledge of even how many people use our site. Within a couple quarters, the number could be 5, 10 million higher or lower than what they hint at. It's like, yeah, hold Twitter stock. It's a really good investment, they said. Right? But meanwhile, crypto has its own problems. But it's like you'll get laughed at for having cryptocurrency, but if you have Twitter stock, people treat you like you're sane. Facebook stock or something like that. Yeah, I don't fucking think so. I think I'll just hold the Bitcoin. I think it's a better investment long term. That's about all. Peace out.